YouTube, it's Ashley Offset. So the weirdest thing happened over the past week. I kept seeing this thing come up on my calendar that said gender reveal, and I know nobody who's pregnant. I'm not having a gender reveal. I did not know what that was about, and it was set for October the 15th. So on October the 15th, I still don't know what this gender reveal is, but I just keep it on my calendar just in case I all of a sudden remember whose party I need to go to. And I get an email from Fender saying the Fender Ultra 2 series has launched. And I'm like, not gender reveal, Fender reveal. I'm itching to get a guitar. I knew my next one had to be an Offset. Actually, shout out to one of you for calling me out in the comments saying your name is Ashley Offset, but you hardly ever have any Offset guitars on the channel. So yeah, you're right. And I've been itching for another Offset. Did not take much for me to pull the trigger. This is a new series. I posted a short on it asking you guys what you thought it would be. And now we have our gender or Fender reveal. So what did I get? Let's take it out of the box and see. Before we get started though, I want to take you back to yesterday when I unboxed the guitar so that you can see my true first impressions, and then we'll jump back to my final thoughts today. Okay, so this is Ashley Offset from the past. This is me. I just unboxed this thing. I'm out of breath. This would be Thursday. I'm going to essentially open the case and just give you really quick first thoughts. No specs or anything like that. I just didn't want you guys to think I was cheating by like pulling this out of the box when I've already spent time with it. So genuine first impressions. Main thing I'm worried about is the weight. It looks like a bulky guitar, but let's go ahead and see. So it does come with, I said no specs, but it comes with a deluxe molded case. And here she is. I hope you guys can see this. I'm going to check really quickly. Oh yeah, so you guys should be able to see this really well. First thing before I even pick the guitar up is the body shape is much smaller than I thought, which is a good thing because I was starting to kind of regret my choice. I thought it would be way too big, but in person it's actually pretty slim. And so we'll go ahead and take the paperwork from under the strings here carefully. And we'll take this. There's a little sound demo for you. We'll go ahead and unbox everything else later. I really just want to pick up the guitar, to be honest with you. Second impression is smell. So if we had smell-o-vision, it's 2024. I don't know why we still don't have smell-o-vision, but it smells heavily of paint. I'm going to pretend like it's a nitro finish, even though it's not. So let's pretend we're smelling nitro. Okay. Okay. Medium weight, I would say. Yeah, super heavy paint smell. If you guys have ordered one of these, just like straight from Fender, let me know. Medium on the weight. I'm gonna throw the weight in this video. I know in past videos I always say that, but neglect to do it, but truly in this one I will. I'm just gonna guess it's 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Second impression, I love the ultra satin neck. Again, we're not going over specs, just first impressions. First impressions, this thing looks bad A. I mean, what do you guys think? This aluminum pickguard. The color of this one, hopefully it's on the tag here. I'm gonna say that it's Avalanche, but I'm gonna have to look that up. If not, I'll cut this out of the video. So probably the last two things I'm gonna talk about noticing right out of the box, these glow-in-the-dark fret markers here. And then I think there should be plastic on the pickguard, which should take care of this problem, but I don't know if you can see right here, there's a lot of red markings on the pickguard there. Oh, rubs right off. It's like a coral color or something. Interesting. Yeah, American Ultra 2. This is the Meteora. Very excited to try this thing out. Very cool looking guitar. Let me know what you think. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it back to Ashley Offset of the Future to continue with the guitar review. Okay, I know I said I would keep this to first impressions only, but I've actually never gotten a new guitar that featured an information sheet on the layout of the controls. On an Offset guitar, usually they're a little bit less straightforward than say like a Telecaster, so I really appreciate this and I will reference it tonight when I am playing it. Okay, I promise that's it. Future Ashley, your turn. Okay, so this is the Meteora. Now, how did I get this? So they immediately announced that it's come out on the 15th. We start with our favorite place. So this is our favorite local, almost like a mom and pop store. I think they only have 2 locations. And we're like, hey, do you guys have any Ultra 2s coming in? Because although I wanted the Meteora, I was willing to like just get a new Ultra Series 2, but they didn't have any and they didn't have any on order. So from there, what I like to do is not go all the way to the top. So I went to kind of mid-level size guitar store here locally, and they also didn't have any. So alas, we called Guitar Center, and they said they were gonna have 10 coming in 2 days. And so we're like, awesome. They said they'd give us first dibs when they came in. Lo and behold, that night, they got them in stock and they called and said, hey, we have them here and we actually have 12. So we're like, do you have any Meteoras? And they did not. They were the only location in the Southeast to get the Ultra 2 Series guitars. And so my option then was to just get from Fender directly themselves. So it's 2 p.m. Fender, California time when I order this, and I pay extra for overnight shipping. The next day, it hasn't shipped at all. And then I read the fine print, unless you order by 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you're not getting the guitar shipped the same day. So essentially, I kind of feel like I paid extra for maybe a 2-day shipping instead of a 1. I contacted customer service and there's really nothing they could do about it. They wouldn't refund the extra shipping fee. I will say it did get here yesterday, which was Thursday. So it got here in a day and a half. I cannot complain. I think I was just really, really excited to get my hands on it. Okay, so this is Fender's American Premier guitar. So with that being said, the MSRP on this is $22.50. So while we're going over all the specs, just keep in mind that this is their premium offering. So of the 3 colors offered, I chose Avalanche. We'll go over a little bit of why in a second, but I'm really glad I did. Actually, if you're looking at this guitar, one of the benefits of seeing this thing in person or in reviews like these, instead of just stock images, is that this thing online in the stock photos looks stark white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to one of my other white Strats, and then I'm going to show you a picture of this thing hanging against a white wall. It actually has a lot of gray undertone and it kind of changes with lighting, so I really want you to be able to see that. All right, so holding up this Avalanche color, front and back here, I'm going to show you a Strat that's probably considered Olympic white. So holding the 2 guitars. Now, this may have been considered an Olympic white. It is about 20 years old now, so it's probably more of a vintage white, but just showing you the contrast between colors. When I'm not holding this one, this thing looks pretty white, just saying. So go to the store or check out some more reviews and kind of get a feeling for the color, because this is actually, in my opinion, a much better color than just a plain white. It has a lot of life to it. All right, so this is not the first iteration of the Meteora that we've seen, but I had not personally held a Meteora or even seen a Meteora guitar that I recall in person. Really slim body shape. It has contours in the perfect places. Absolutely the most perfect places for my playing, which is back here, and then where my arm would rest over here. And the body is made of alder. One thing that really sold me on this guitar is the quarter sawn maple neck. Now they do offer this guitar in 2 other colors, but I ultimately chose this one because this is the only one with the maple fingerboard option. The other ones are an upgraded ebony, but honestly, I really prefer a maple fingerboard and I don't have enough of them. So that's one reason I went for this Avalanche color, and I'm really glad I did. I'd also say that this is more of a roasted maple color. So not that lighter color that looks cheaper. It's really beautiful. And it also features a modern D profile. So it's somewhere between thin and thick. I know that it's like modern D would be that way, but it just feels really nice in the hand. Not too much one way or the other. Okay, now speaking of the fingerboard and the neck, this does have ultra rolled edges. And so that's part of this Ultra 2 lineup. But I will say, if the only reason you're going for an Ultra 2 is like comfort, maybe look elsewhere, because I've had guitars at lower price points, and the level of comfort that this offers, it is there, but I don't know if it's worth you paying more. Continuing with the modern theme, this does have a compound radius. It goes 10 to 14 inches with medium jumbo frets. So over time, I have found this to be my perfect setup. I really wanted to be that vintage girl who liked vintage spec guitars, but it turns out I'm just your basic modern player, I guess, and I've accepted that. Okay, so please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe this is the first iteration of these these Haymaker humbuckers that we've seen on a guitar. So the day before I got this guitar, I was playing on one of my Fender amps. It's from the 90s. I had the settings the same, and then I played 4 guitars across those same settings at max volume. I plugged this in last night, and it was head and shoulders above the rest of those humbuckers on those guitars. The difference was night and day. These things really scream. And I mean, they really are so unique, so much so that if you coil split these, you can hear the starkest difference between single coil and then engaging that humbucker. It's just absolutely brilliant. I'm just gonna say one more time, this thing loves to scream. I usually like to play at a very low volume actually, but with this thing, I just left it as loud as it was because it begs to be played that way. So they have Alnico 5 bar magnets with custom windings for those of you who are into the makeup of the pickups. It also features a tone bleed circuit much like the Ultra 1s did, which would keep your high sustained across settings. These Lumile fret markers honestly are a game changer. They should be standard across all guitar lineups. They did not glow right out of the box, but after exposed to some light, they did engage, and they would be awesome on a dimly lit stage, which I will never play on. Speaking of places and things I'll never play, it also offers a carve back here. Now this is kind of standard across the Ultra 2 lineup, but you can really access the higher register notes here, so very nice feature. Now in full transparency, I do like a more simple setup as far as options, so I'm still getting used to all the features. But basically you have a master volume here. It does have an S1 switch which will split your Haymakers. You also have master tone and a bass cut control knob as well. That being said, don't let my simplicity sway you. The tonal options and variety on this guitar are far and wide, so if you're into all of the options, I think this thing has it. In fact, I'm not gonna call it just yet, but I think this could be my most versatile guitar now. 6 saddle string through hardtail and polished stainless steel. And we have deluxe short post locking tuners. With the quarter sawn neck, the tusk nut, and the locking tuners, I really think tuning stability should stay the same as I've seen in the last 24 hours. Right out of the box, it was nearly in tune, needed a couple of minor adjustments, but largely in tune, and it has stayed in tune in the last 24 hours while I've been playing it. So yeah, it is really comfortable, and that's what they advertise, and they advertise it as being modern. But for me, I can see the value here being tuning stability, reliability. I think this is going to be a really strong contender in those metrics. And I really do like these knurled knobs. As a perpetual beginner, changing settings while playing can be kind of difficult, so that just makes it that much easier to do while playing. All right, these Fender Deluxe cases really don't get any better as far as offering quality and peace of mind. Always a pleasure to have, although I will admit I'm running out of space to put them. That's my only complaint. First world problem, I know, but they are very large. What I really had a vision for was someone else playing it besides me, because I know what it can do and I know what I can do. So hopefully I'm going to be handing this off to someone down the road and we'll get a good demo.
Treble cut. That's with the S1. Well, it's just a lot of fun to play, too.
Yeah.
That's a good guitar for sure.
can't do it justice, and I'm not even gonna lie about it. This thing screams more than I can. And so, yeah, do your research, check it out, see what it sounds like. Maybe try one in store, because then you can really hear what it sounds like. But thank you for allowing me to skip the demo. You know I hate them, but I love reviewing a good guitar, and I have a good respect for them. I will see you in the next video. This is so stupid. I can never be an actress. If I was an actress, I'd be on disability. They couldn't tolerate this.
You're getting good content right now.
I gotta say, this pass certificate that was included in the box, if you're watching, you know who you are, but the date on this thing is 5/29 of 24, so May 29th, 2024. Just throwing that out there.